in their places.
Ibrahim Karanja, KTN News.
Impactful reporting right there from my colleague. But let's now get a live update on the ongoing KCPE exam as well as the security situation in Baringo. Our reporter, Ibrahim Karanja, is at Muchongoi Center. Ibrahim, first of all, I hope you're safe. We're getting reports of heightened security in that area as the pupils continue with their examinations. Paint for us a picture of how things look on the ground.
Well, just indeed, heightened security even as the national examination, KCPE, starts today. And this heightened security expected to be seen for the next 2 days now, or for the 3 days that KCPE will be running. And that is what was actually informing some very critical questions from some of the locals, that what happens after the 3 days? What happens after KCPE is over? Will the security that is now heightened again lapse, and then insecurity again comes here? We are currently safe. We are around Kabel, just few kilometers from Mochongoi. We couldn't have a good network connection from Mochongoi area, so we are around Kabel, and it is 5 kilometers from Kapketir Primary School and 4 kilometers from Karne Primary School, one of the 2 schools affected, because currently as we speak, candidates from Kapketir Primary School are sitting their KCPE from Karne Primary School. Reason being that the area around Kapketir Primary School, the entire village, is still a no-go zone. They say that armed bandits have still taken cover over there, chasing people away from their homes and forcing learners and candidates now to be moved to a different area. Kapketir is greatly affected by bandits who are around Tuyotich. Remember, there's also another school called Tuyotich, in which a couple of weeks ago we attended a security meeting there, and bandits from around Tuyotich are the ones who have gone all the way to Kapketir, and according to security sources who are not authorized to talk to the press, it is in the effort of them moving back to the different areas that they are now around Kapketir. Also, some good news that we have received right before going on air is that all the candidates from 2 institutions, Kasiela Primary School and Sinonik Primary School, have been accounted for and are currently sitting for KCPE at Muchongoi High School. Now, that I have witnessed this morning, about 3 candidates were quickly drove in by a police Land Cruiser. We are not sure where they came from because we couldn't interview them, and it was only less than an hour to the start of the examination. So they were quickly driven into the exam center, of course, meaning that the police were spending the night last night to try and trace the students who are missing. That is the information we have about the 2 schools, Kasiela and Sinoni Primary School, that 100% of their candidates have turned up for the exams. But we are not sure about the 5 other schools that have been affected. Remember, some government officials on the ground remaining very, very cagey about sharing information, because right now, and as we reported yesterday, the total number of students who were staring at missing the examinations were 185. And the numbers, just to break them down, 14 candidates were from Kasiela Primary School, all of whom have been accounted for. 26 were from Sinoni Primary School, all of whom again have been accounted for. But we are not sure about the candidates from Chebinin Primary School, that is 24 candidates, 36 of them from Tuyotich Primary, 34 from Kapketir, who are supposed to do their exam from Karne, 17 from Arabal Primary, and 34 from Kapindasum Primary School. That is information perhaps that we shall be seeking for from Rift Valley Regional Commissioner Maalim Mohammed, who was the one who a few minutes ago shared that all the candidates from Sinoni and Kasiela have been found. Now remember, this is the toughest situation in the entire Rift Valley, where about 340,000 candidates in the entire Rift Valley are sitting for KCPE. 340,000 candidates, but those along the Kerio Valley, in the counties of Baringo, and in Baringo particularly Baringo South constituency and Baringo North constituency, those in Elgeyo Marakwet, particularly the area around Tot, those in West Pokot, and others in Laikipia County are the ones who are currently affected. Laikipia not as much, but the 3 counties, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet and Baringo are still in the red zone because people have been moved from their homes. Banditry continues to wreak havoc here. And Jesse, we will be camping here. We were here from yesterday. We will be camping here up until such a time that we are able to establish how many learners will have sat for KCPE, and even later on the KCSE, and upon the release of their results, how they will have performed. Remember, it has been a periodic disruption of learning here. It is becoming, they actually feel that learning is a matter of life and death, because every so often they have to shut their schools and seek refuge elsewhere. I'm told of a story from Sinoni Primary School that only a couple of weeks ago had been shut, and just upon reopening, again there were banditry attacks. And remember, Sinoni initially was supposed to be the exam center that would have hosted learners from Kasiela Primary School, but now we are staring at a situation where both the exam centers have been affected and the learners have been moved to 12 to 15 kilometers away to here in the Mochongoi area. Just to give you a brief of why learners and children have not been spared in this insecurity situation. Among the dead people, Jesse, one person actually killed about a week ago is a Form 3 student from Tuyotich Primary School. Now, to give you the situation of how this child was killed, there was an insecurity situation around Tuyotich Primary, and so the school was shut, and the learner obviously went home around Sinoni area. Now, this is a learner who is not in school. He is at the safety of his parents. But again, their village in Sinoni was struck and he was shot on the head, dying on the spot. A Form 3 learner dying in this particular year and in this particular spate of insecurity. To look at history, in the past, 2014, we saw examination officials, examination teachers who were escorting exams being killed or being shot at while approaching Kapedo. Also in 2017, we saw 2 police officers and an education officer killed at a time when national examinations were being administered. So a similar situation repeating itself here, and it is the tough questions that we want to ask the government officials, that up to when will the people of Baringo South, Baringo North, and the people living along the Kerio Valley have to face this spate of insecurity, Jesse?
Well, unrivaled coverage right there, and it's quite unfortunate. You might feel for those learners who are affected by whatever's going on in those affected areas of West Pokot, Baringo and Elgeyo Marakwet. But rest assured, our team on the ground, including Ibrahim Karanja, will definitely give us a status update in terms of the ongoing KCPE examinations, even as we wait for KCSE to kickstart next week. We'll definitely also highlight some of the security situations that are ongoing in that particular area. Allow us to take a short break right now, but we'll continue focusing on the KCPE examinations. A lot more from our reporters on the other side of the break. Stay with KTN News.